obviously that was like a big criteria. I was really concerned that I wouldn't be able to find anywhere that accept a dog and a rabbit in central London.
Hey team, and welcome to another episode of Jeans and a Nice Top podcast. And this week we are blessed with the one and only Nancy Elza, and she is my first in-person podcast recording. I can't explain how amazing it was to just sit on the sofa with a tinny and just chat with my guy. We have a special guest in this week's episode, which is Ozzy, the crazy dog that brought so much love and light to this episode. You're probably going to hear him a lot in the background, but who doesn't love dogs? If you're not a dog person, get off the podcast. No, I'm joking. Please stay. We love you. Anyway, in this episode, we debunk all of the myths, the good, the bad, and the ugly of the modelling industry, and we dissect hype versus habit and what the must-haves are in the skincare and the beauty industry, which is Nancy's fabulous specialism. This girl knows everything when it comes to beauty, skincare, well-being for your face. I hope you enjoy this episode as much as I do. As always, don't forget to rate, review and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Smile to Health. And if you like poetry, check out my book on Amazon at Curse to Feel. Ciao! Hey team, and welcome to season 2 of Jeans and a Nice Top pod. I am super excited about this week because it's my first in-person interview. Like, I'm actually sat in a house with a tinny, living my best life. It's still warm outside. We have a third guest you might get to hear. Third guest, second guest throughout, which is the gorgeous Ozzy, the most beautiful dog you will ever meet. Crazy, but beautiful. And more importantly, this week's guest is the sensational Nancy Elza. She is a model, beauty junkie, business owner and digital marketing consultant. She is the embodiment of cool and rock and roll, something that I just could never meet. Like, your level of cool is up here and I'm like the nerdy friend that's fangirling right now. And I'm just so excited for you guys to meet her because she's just the most down to earth, authentic, fabulous human being, and yeah, I just feel very lucky to know her. So, for those who don't know you, tell us who you are and what you do.
Hello, I'm Nancy.
Oh, Nancy.
I'm Chelsea's friend. And yeah, I used to model. I now do digital marketing, and I am a dog and a rabbit mum.
The best. The rabbit is called Gilbert, for those of you that don't know. And he's a stud muffin.
He is, he's a cool dude.
And you definitely are downplaying yourself there, like you are so much cooler than you give yourself credit for. Like, you're casually a model, casually own your own business, casually know everything that you could ever need to know about skincare and life. Like, thank you, next. You're like my personal Caroline Hirons. Honestly. Me too, I'm obsessed. Her Instagram is like
She's unreal. I met her a couple of times at Pixie events, so I was like, hi, I'm like a really big fan.
I bought her book. I randomly saw it. Skincare Bible. I just love the way she writes because she makes me laugh so much.
It's like talking to a friend, isn't it?
Yeah, when I think she wrote something about makeup wipes and she was like, don't fucking use them.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're wiping your bunny at a festival, don't
use it. Don't do it. I agree. She's right.
I just love that so much.
Straight to the point.
Yeah, so was she like exactly like that in person?
Yeah, she was so cool. She was dead cool. She told me she liked my t-shirt, and I was like, this is just what it must be like to meet like Harry Styles. I was like, guys, she said she liked my t-shirt. I think it was a Limp Bizkit t-shirt or something. I was not appropriately dressed for that event whatsoever.
Anyway, to ease you in, because the basis of the podcast is all about adulting, life hacks, real life, juicy little nug. What are 3 things in life that you can't live without? My last guest did it like a desert island kind of vibe, and it can be anything. It can be a person, it can be a food, it can be a CD.
Oh god. Well, there's so many though, like so many routes I could go down.
I know.
I mean, for sure, the animals.
They can count as one.
They can count as one. The animals can count as one. My mum. I speak to my mum every day.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me and my mum are super close. And then probably my Spotify. I listen to music. I've got it's all very random.
You know when they do the breakdown for like the Spotify?
It really could be anything. Like it really could. It could be reggae. It could be rap. It could could be like emo rock, it could be like metal, it could be like, Ariana Grande maybe, you know, like, it really, like, I'll put it on shuffle and I'll be going literally Limp Bizkit, Ariana Grande, Eminem, like, just Sister Nancy, like, it will just go.
I love that.
But yeah, I love my music, so the dogs, the rabbit, my mum, and my music. And Ozzy would have his squeaky crocodile.
That's all he needs.
Yeah. There we go.
I love it. The reality of in-person music is so much better.
Oh god, you're gonna go for it. Okay, right. Chill out. You've got the croc. We're all happy here.
We're happy as Harry. We've got the gin. You've got the
You've got your crocodile. Okay.
Okay, so that's quite a cute mix because you've got your animals for the joy. You've got your mum for
Because I have to ask her everything before I do it, obviously.
Do you know what makes me laugh? When people are like, oh, the girl that I went to school with had it like her kid. And they're all like, oh, we've got that for 18 years now. And I was like, it's not till you're 18.
No.
Like, I'm 25 and I call my mum every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally just talk about weather or anything. I'm just like, give me attention.
It's like a routine. Like, every morning go walk with my mum.
Yeah.
Check she's alright, see what she's doing for the day. And then about lunchtime, might want to see what she's having for lunch.
Yeah.
Check in. The dog's just launched his crocodile toy across my living room. He's chosen this moment to go absolutely nuts.
Oh,
you need to cut. There we go.
If I fuss you, you've just farted.
Oh, they're lethal. I'll get them to freeze out.
That sounds like what? Something died in your butthole. What the hell?
Probably. He eats absolutely everything. It's really quite concerning. He ate a vape. He ate a vape pod. He eats rocks. The vape pod ended up in a very sudden vet appointment.
He's all good, everyone.
He's all good. But yeah, you can't leave him unattended for a second. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
What are you doing?
He'll roll off.
What made you want to get a dog?
I've always loved dogs. I always grew up with dogs. My parents always had like 2 dogs at a time. My grandparents always had dogs, and they're always border collies. So like doggy dogs.
Yeah, my nan and granddad had a border collie.
Yeah.
Sal, and we loved her.
Yeah, they're gorgeous, and yeah, I've always worked from home. I've always worked for myself, and then when I started digital marketing, I worked from home. Yeah, and I love animals, and obviously I've got Gilbert the rabbit. Gilbert the rabbit came first. He's my firstborn. And then I moved into my last flat, which had a garden, and the landlord was happy with me getting a dog, and so I got Ozzy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Did you get him rescue or did you?
He's a Romanian rescue.
Wow.
So yeah, he was found. Him and his litter were all found in a ditch. They're all hypothermic in the middle of Romania, and then you get paid €50 for every stray dog you bring into the shelter in Romania.
Oh wow.
And then they get 2 weeks to be claimed before they're put down. If they're not claimed, they get put down. So the charity Pause to Rescue go in and they save like the dogs that they think that they're going to be able to rehome in the UK. And Ozzy was one of them.
Oh, I love that story. I didn't know this. Oh, you were a little saviour baby, aren't you?
So I actually applied to adopt a 3-legged dog. But he wasn't suitable for the city. So I talked to them. I was like, I need a dog that's going to be good with other animals and that you think will adapt to city life. And they sent me a few over. And along with Ozzy came a video of him with a cuddly toy very similar to the crocodile cuddly toy that he's playing with now. And he was prancing along the street with it in his mouth, looking ever so happy. And it was just the cutest video ever. And I was like, he looks like an idiot. He looks like trouble.
You hit me. I want a little dog because I don't feel like I'd be able to manage a big one.
I've only ever had big dogs. I thought about getting a smaller dog, but I don't know. They are gorgeous. I know a lot of my friends have like smaller, like one of my friends has a Brussels Griffon and Pomeranians, and they're so gorgeous.
Pomeranians, like little clouds.
He loves little dogs. I met a Brussels Griffon today actually. Quite a liking to, but
I love it.
Yeah, I do like having that. This is the only form of exercise that I do. I hate all forms of exercise. Despise it. But I enjoy walking because I get to listen to my music. So
yeah, it's like a really, and I think walking's so underestimated as well.
It's like I walk about 10-15k a day with him. It's great.
Mental.
Yeah, I love it because
so good to
gets
out.
me out. He loves it. And I knew I wanted a dog that I would be able to walk a considerable distance. So he could go for another 10 or 15k a day. I think
you're just like, I've had enough.
Yeah.
But he's good to get you out as well. And I guess like especially during the lockdown, he was probably like an absolute anchor.
Definitely. He's a good boy. Well, I'm having a drink now. Hopefully we'll chill out a little bit.
He's calming down a bit. I'm so glad that your like landlord is so chill because I feel like getting an animal in the city is really hard.
Yeah, well, my previous flat, I had a flat share, a garden flat, wasn't just up the road from where I am now. And that landlady was really super cool. We got on really well. Like we would text and stuff. She was really lovely. And I said I would really like a dog, and she was like, "Yeah, alright, like cool, like as long as it's not, you know,
one of those dogs that are like the size of a small human."
Yeah, like I moved in, I don't know, about 6 weeks ago to where we're recording this, and now I live on my own, and obviously that was like a big criteria. I was really concerned that I wouldn't be able to find anywhere that except a dog and a rabbit in central London.
It's such a niche specification as well.
And all of my, I would have estate agents calling me, like, did you say dog and a rabbit? I'll be like, yeah.
That's what I have.
Correct. Like, okay, and they would be like, okay, well, that narrows down what I can show you. Okay,
but I feel like the rabbit's really the defining factor there.
I think it was a rabbit. Everyone was like, a rabbit? Like, okay. I think house rabbits are Ozzy. House rabbits are getting increasingly popular now, though.
Yeah, because they're a more manageable pet. It's like.
Well, you say that.
This is very true. So it's like my friend got a guinea pig, and then she realised she can't get one because they get lonely. So buy two.
Yeah.
And then she made a mistake of buying a male and a female one, so then they had babies, and then she had like guinea pigs everywhere.
And you can't, at least the rabbit, they're
quite self-sufficient, aren't they?
They are, and they can learn to go to the toilet in one particular area, whereas guinea pigs are just walking shit machines. I used to have guinea pigs growing up. Rabbits, like, you can litter train them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Gilbert is somewhat litter trained.
I wanted to delve more into your modelling career because I feel like we know so much about like the big face models. I feel like we still don't know a lot about actual modelling.
Yeah.
What goes on, how you get into it, the reality of it. Was it something you always knew you wanted to do, or did you kind of stumble into it? Did you get scouted? I know that's quite common.
It was kind of a bit of a weird one, really. I had glandular fever. It sounds like completely unrelated, but it is related. I had glandular fever when I was taking my AS levels. I had it really quite badly. You can get to varying degrees, but I was in hospital and stuff, and I ended up having to take the year out of school. And it was, like I said, you get it in varying degrees, but I had it quite badly. I was in hospital for a bit. I had to take the next year off. I had a lot of complications because of it. And so I didn't go to school for the whole year. I lost a lot of weight as well, and then I was kind of like, I wanted to be a vet was what I wanted to do.
Oh my gosh, that's it! I did not know this.
Yeah, I wanted to be a vet,
This
and then
makes
I was
sense.
kind of like, oh my god, my whole like life plan has been derailed here. I hated school. Like, I didn't like my school at all.
No.
Like, it wasn't for me.
I feel like the school system's so rigid as well. It doesn't adapt to how different people learn.
Absolutely.
So if your year group are just a bunch of knobs.
Yeah, I didn't get. I think I was very much an introvert, and I felt a lot of pressure.
And it's so hard because you're expected to figure out your whole life and know who you
Yeah,
are at 18.
I felt fully rushed into it, but like I thought I loved animals, and like I got the subject that I was good at, kind of would allow me to go on and hopefully be a vet. But yeah, so that kind of got derailed, and then the kind of like the thought of going back to school again, which I hated, and I think probably was a major part of why I think the stress of like I really did not enjoy school. Like I think the stress of
I think it can be like such a hard
Yeah.
time, because I took a gap year between my 2 years of college because I was really poorly, and I ended up backpacking in that year, and then
I think I remember on Facebook seeing
just
it.
like disappeared, and it was like so and it was so weird because I was so academic. I was like on the track for Oxbridge, and I just went no,
don't do it.
I'm literally, and the worst thing was is like on the second relapse, it wasn't intentional. I was just so stressed and so busy. I didn't know how to look after myself. And I just kind of fell into that pattern. And it wasn't until I was like, I'm not looking after myself, I need to sort this out. But I totally relate to you in the sense that I went away and I had to come back and finish it. And I'm in a year group, I don't know anyone.
It was not.
The environment is just, I think because we're both so creative as well.
I think so. There's so much pressure and you're expected to be, I think especially if you're in any way academic, the pressure that, because we both went to state schools, the pressure that's put on you to then remain academic and be a high achiever and be kind of like a good statistic for that school.
Oh yeah, it's all about like you making them look good. Yeah. They don't care about you. Like,
you're not supported, you know, and I think that was probably both was like the stress of that and wanting to be good and wanting to be a perfectionist and 100%. Wanting to achieve. That happened and I was like, I do not want to go back to school. Ozzy. Do they know how we met? Probably not.
Oh no, they probably don't actually.
Should we talk about it?
Yeah, introduce.
So me and Chelsea actually met. This kind of ties it. It was, I dropped a lot of weight and I looked anorexia. Me and Chelsea met on a anorexia recovery Facebook group, I think.
Yeah, I think it was actually. Thinking back to it now, I mean, like, the whole time is like a complete blur.
Same. But it all ties in because at about that time is when I started modelling. And I started modelling with a agency, Profile, that were in London. They were a really good agency. I think they're still going. They're like a little boutique, and it kind of I got signed, and it was like, can you do this full time? Are you doing anything else? And I was like, no. They were like, okay, great, you're full time. We'll send you. And then it was like straight into stuff. I'd been to London, so I'm from Northampton. I'd been to London maybe a handful of times. Yeah. Like with my family. And then
such a big, scary city, I think, when you're younger.
Well, I was like, the next day, you get, when you're modelling, you get an email at 5 o'clock for your schedule for the next day. You have no idea what you're going to be doing the next day. Like, very rarely do you get a heads up.
Like, even the type of shoot or like the brand or anything?
If you book a shoot, sometimes, and it's a big one especially, sometimes you will get like a little bit of a heads up. But like for castings or like one-off like smaller random shoots, you literally will have no idea. So
oh my gosh,
that was quite, at the time I was struggling with, that's when I was pretty deep in the anorexia.
Yeah.
And so my anxiety was through the roof anyway.
Imagine. And then why do we do this? I've been exactly the same. I went into the acting industry, which is the most like unstable, unpredictable.
Literally.
And you're like,
you don't know what you're doing.
We situated ourselves well there, didn't we?
Really did. And yeah, so then I literally started modelling full time. So I went from going to London a handful of times with my family into the next day. It was like, you need to be in North London at 9 a.m, you need to be here at 10, there at 11 for all these different castings and go-sees, and the next day you've got a test shoot here, and like navigating my way around London, like it was ever so exciting. Well. Yeah, it was really exciting, but to go from a year of like being really unwell, dropping all of this weight, dealing with anorexia and kind of realising that I'd got myself into this hole, and then also at the same time
being so excited about these new opportunities and finding something that you were passionate about and you hated school.
And then also adjusting to the fact, okay, right, maybe I'm not meant to go to uni, maybe I'm not meant, that path isn't meant for me, maybe it's this path, and so that's how I got into it. That sounds awful.
I think you hear all these fantasy stories like, I got scouted in Topshop.
Yeah.
And actually a lot of the time you tend to fall into these paths and habits. Like I think the reason I wanted to be a performer was because my mum took me to see a show.
And you loved it.
And I loved it. Yeah, and I think if I hadn't have seen that and my mum's friend was in the show, or my mum's friend's friend was in the show and she took me backstage around all the cast and she was a fairy. I was obsessed because she was glittery and just fabulous.
That's such a bit of you.
And I was so girly and like I was like, you're just like a giant sparkle. I want to do this. And everyone was so extroverted and loud and big, and I always felt like I didn't fit in at school, and I couldn't understand why, and I felt that was the place I could fit. I totally relate to you in like it's absolute sliding doors, I think, with creative industries, that you just fall into them.
It's something that you find yourself in and you're like, oh, actually this is kind of, I like this. I found that I was quite good at the photo shoots, which is funny because I was such an introvert during like my teenage years, and I found that actually I was strangely confident in front of the camera, and I kind of felt like I knew what I was doing to a degree.
Do you think it really brought you out of your shell? Do you think
absolutely, yeah.
Aside from obviously all the stuff that we know about the complexities of like,
I think that with modelling, it is you have to grow up fast and you learn so many more skills than just how to look pretty in front of a camera. You're meeting different people every day. You're having to introduce yourself to people. You're having to hold conversations with different people.
And it's long working hours as well.
You've got to have a good work ethic. You've got to be punctual and on time, and you've got to make sure that you're performing to your best, because at the end of the day you're getting paid to turn up and look a certain way, and they need to get an end shot at the end of it, and they're going to shoot until
they get
that shot. And at the same time you learn kind of about how to stand up for yourself to a degree as well, because people will take the piss and
not give you the breaks
that you need, and it's like
set boundaries.
It is like getting thrown in at a deep end and being like, all right, it's like you sink or you swim, you have to either learn get a little bit more confident and be able to stand up for yourself.
Thrown into the adult world, but you don't even
absolutely
don't even have an option. You have to be able to adapt, and I found that a lot in comparison to my friends. I'm not dissing uni at all. I think some of my friends
both my brother and my sister went to uni, and they both
it's
absolutely the right decision for them.
But I feel like in a way you're still allowed to be a massive child.
You really are.
Whereas drama school is very much the same. So Ozzy was licking my ear hole.
You're really too
needy today.
You're so needy.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it is that thing where you have to adapt to. I mean, like you said, multiple conversations, different environments. You're put under high pressure, high stress all the time.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed. It's almost like you get stuck in that fight or flight mode because you kind of constantly have to be in it in order to keep going. I feel like stress was the foundation in which I built my life, because I was so consistently under stress.
On edge constantly.
Yeah, I've got deadlines to meet, I've got to be here, I've got to be there, I've got so much work to do, and like you said, then you've got the external pressures. Yeah, so I totally relate, and I think that the creative industry teaches you a lot.
Absolutely. People skills, life skills. Yeah, it really does. You've got to think on your feet, the amount of times I was so shy, and the amount of times I'd get lost going to a casting or something, and I couldn't read Google Maps, I couldn't work out where I was
This was pre-city mapper days as well.
Yeah, it would be right, I have to get over this social anxiety. I used to be scared to go and pay for something at the till or something. I used to have terrible social anxiety, and I couldn't be more different now. But I think the first I would be stuck. I've paid for my ticket to come to London to do these castings. I haven't gone to this casting because I can't find it. I've got to ask somebody.
Yeah.
It's just you don't have a choice here. You need to ask somebody, do you know where this is? Or please could you point me to the nearest tube station? Because I haven't got a fucking clue where I am. And I'm going to be stuck here for the considerable future. It kicks anything, it kicks you into gear.
Yeah, and that probably taught you way more than you ever learned at school.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
I think so many people think the preconception of modelling is that you've won the genetic lottery, and it's easy, you just pose. I've worked London and Paris Fashion Week behind the scenes, and I've seen how much you guys, you work 20+ hour days, you're on your feet the whole time. I underestimated how much, if you think about when you go shopping, how tired you are from trying clothes.
Oh my god, e-commerce, shooting. Jesus.
There's some of the stories I've heard. Do you have a favourite part of modelling that you like, and then the least favourite?
I used to really enjoy the editorials.
Yeah.
Which were the ones that you don't get paid for.
Oh,
but they were always the most, I think probably in part because there was no money exchanging hands. It was just really creative, and you would turn up and you wouldn't know what you were getting dressed up as or anything, and that was really good fun. I always liked the editorials because it was way more creative and it was way more laid back, and then probably my least favourite was I did a few e-commerce shoots, and that was long days. Oh my god, when you start, you get sent on very low paid jobs, which are sometimes student fashion student shoots. Yeah, they were just sometimes, some of them were incredible, and then some of the time it would just be a first year fashion student who's just trying it out and they're experimenting. You're just there for the day, and you're just I look ridiculous. My makeup is absolutely insane. I'm wearing because I'm sure they would get sent all sorts of strange assignments. You'd sometimes be wearing a literal bin bag. It would just be God, and then the shooting outside in the cold. I'm not a fan of the cold.
Yeah, I always watch all of these programs like Survival. What's his name? Bear Grylls,
yeah.
And I'm like, I could do it if it wasn't for the cold.
Can't do cold.
That's the only thing.
Probably both being having had anorexia just brings back.
Yeah, because you don't know the level of cold until you don't have any body fat.
Then you know cold.
Because your skin literally grows extra hair to try and stop you from. I know that's a morbid joke, but it's
so true. I think my worst shoot was it must have been January, and it was for a stockings brand.
Oh,
and it had been decided that it would be a great idea to shoot in Highgate Cemetery.
Beautiful place, but
stunning in January, and I was wearing knee-high stockings and then pants, and then I had a t-shirt on, but they were shooting my legs. Oh, I've never known cold like it.
Oh my God! Also, your nipples.
Oh God, it was a lot. I'm I don't do cold. The heating is constantly on.
Yeah, me. I'll put the heat on in summer. I don't mind being too hot. I can cope.
I take a hot water bottle to bed with me, up until probably the last 3 weeks. I've had a hot water bottle in bed with me. Don't do cold. I don't do it.
I'm totally with you. I did a lot of extras work when I was younger, and that's also not great.
You're waiting around.
Oh my God, long days, they don't give a toss. I probably learned the most from those kind of jobs. The jobs where you're not paid a lot, you're not really respected.
Yeah.
Because I actually got to know the people on the ground floor up.
Yeah.
And actually it was funny because I ended up making friends with the makeup artist from a different job, and she remembered me on the second one, and bless her, I hate talking about this job, so it's going to haunt me for the rest of my life, but I was a tea bag in the Yorkshire tea commercial.
Fuck off, that's funny. I love Yorkshire tea.
The biscuit tea is my life. I live off it. I just get through a box a week, I swear. I'm so Midlands about cups of tea. I'm like, anyone a cup of tea?
Oh, I drink so much tea.
I 1 hour minimum.
Yeah, same. Especially when you work from home.
Yeah, because you're just what can I do?
Oh, make tea. I need
tea.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad, because there's a real debate actually about PG tips in Yorkshire.
No, Yorkshire teas are up there.
Yeah, 100% I'm with you, gal. But
always.
yeah, so I did the advert, but it was so cold, and it was meant to be a summer campaign, but they were shooting it in November, and I'm
always the same with fashion. You're always shooting
ahead of time, and it was so cold, and I'm tiny, and I've got a stupid little tea bag outfit on. And the makeup artist took pity on me and stuck all of these heat packs on my back.
Oh,
and it's so funny because
you do meet some such gorgeous people.
Oh my goodness, I appreciate you so much.
You meet some arseholes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, yeah.
But you do meet the sweetest people.
But every now and then you'll get someone that's a pocket of gold, and she stuck about 10 of these heat packs on my back.
Oh,
that were hidden underneath this stupid tea bag costume.
I need to send me this.
It's awful.
I need to see it.
And I know my friend Lauren is going to listen to this, and she haunts me with it every year. Every time it's my birthday, she finds the links, the YouTube links. She has screenshots, everything, and it's everywhere. She puts it on every form of social media she can find, and it haunts me. I'll never be able to get rid of it. I won't say if, let's manifest it. When I make it as a successful actor, that's going to be that thing that
on Graham Norton.
Yeah,
that
it goes viral. He'll bring it up. And, at least I drink it. I did a Cathedral City advert, and I'm allergic to dairy. The irony.
I did enjoy a bit of Cathedral City. Did you not even? Yeah, you couldn't eat them.
Well, I got given loads of the minis of the extra mature. Cheddars. My dad had a great time.
Yeah.
But, I was just a bit.
Did you get given loads of Yorkshire tea?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Highlights. Small little perks.
Yeah. Don't pay me, just pay me tea.
Yeah, just give me all the
lifetime supply of tea and we're sorted.
What I'd love to know is, going back to, I know, did you ever have those interviews with the career counsellors at school?
I don't think I did, not that I can remember. I think the other school in my town did. We never got around to that.
That's probably a good thing.
I don't know how useful it was to people.
Especially if you want to be creative. It's no.
How about give up?
How about just don't do that?
Yeah.
But what were your parents' response to you? I'm going to be a model.
My mum was super excited. So my mum is a special needs teacher. And my dad,
wonderful.
I don't know what my dad does. something in coding for stuff. I don't know. He's on computers.
Yeah.
he pisses about on computers. But my mum was like, "This is so exciting," and my dad was like, "I mean, yeah."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, cool. Like, you're out of the house in the day. That's great. You're away from me. You're not bothering me. That's fine. My mum was really excited. Yeah, and then like my mum loved seeing it's exciting seeing like the pictures come back, and like every time if I'd ever get in a magazine or something, she'd get it. And then I never really spoke to my dad so much about it, but then I remember like showing him I got my portfolio. This is back in the day when you used to have a portfolio as an actual book. I had it on iPads. Well, they did before I finished modelling. I had an iPad and it was on my iPad, but it used to be like a huge, heavy book that you had to carry around. And I remember getting my book back and being like, "Dad, you have to look at my book," like making him sit and go through it. And I could see he was like, "Oh, okay, all right."
I can feel the pride there.
Yeah.
Because my dad's the same. My dad's a builder. He's got some shows, some music and stuff that he likes. But when he came to see my third year shows at drama school, my mum said he literally sat on the edge of the seat the whole time. He was just watching, and it's they're so cute.
So
they try and act like they're so cool, but actually they love it deep down.
You can see. Yeah.
And I think that's so important when you're doing something creative, because I've got so many friends that decided against it or have not pursued it because their family haven't been supportive.
Sure.
And I think actually one thing that creative sectors do bring is really awesome friends. Really cool people.
Yeah. A lot of my friends I met through pretty much all of them. I think all of them really. I've met through, they're either models or makeup artists or photographers and stuff, and they're all fantastic people and very lucky to be friends with them. So yeah, you do meet some really, really cool people.
Do you end up doing shoots with the same people? I know with acting, you're a casting type, so you tend to see the same people.
Yeah, for castings and stuff, you're sent off with all of the other 5, 8, 9 blonde hair, blue-eyed commercial girls that are similar body type to you. You meet the same people on castings often, again and again. I met my best friend on a shoot, Caroline. Yeah, we're not really very similar, but we're both 5'8" with blonde hair and blue eyes. But we met on a proper shoot. She's got shorter hair than me, so yeah. And then there's lots of there were, I don't know anymore really. But it was kind of when Instagram was really becoming a thing for especially for if you're a model, it's kind important to have an Instagram, and then influencer stuff was kind of becoming a thing. So when I kind of started, and for the first few years especially, that was when there were a lot of influencer events and model events and stuff with brands, and I met a lot of my friends through events, and there was a model lounge at one point. There were a couple actually.
I think that's the thing, the Sex and the City glamorous side of it, where you're, oh my gosh, all of these cool events, and you get to meet these awesome people.
It was you got to go, you had to show your agency or something, I can't remember exactly, but and it was free food and coffee and teas and drinks and stuff from between 9 and 6, which is so if you had a 2-hour break between a casting, you could just go and chill. And it was below Tape. I think at one point it was the W Hotel, and then it was at Tape. But then I actually met my old flatmate, Sarah and Lucy, who we were speaking about, who have a swimwear company now. I met them there with Caroline, who I'd met on a shoot, and then they meet.
And I'm totally going to get them on the podcast.
I'm going to have a word with them.
Because they founded this company called Adora Swim, and it's the most beautiful swimwear you will ever see in your life. Oh my god, I just want to exist in that. On my body, 24/7, that's what I need in life. I'm here for it. Everyone always talks very negatively about the modelling industry, so I'm going to flip it on the positive. What was your favourite thing about being a model?
Meeting the friends that I met, and I had so much fun. It was great. There was shit times, but it was really, really good fun. I wouldn't change it for the world. I met such amazing people. I loved seeing the pictures. I loved the actual shoots. towards the end, it was definitely time for me to. I was over it, but I just like loved creating these images.
That's so cool.
It's fun. It's exciting. I got to do a bit of traveling. Like
I was gonna say, I bet travel was part of it.
I did. I think the best one, my favourite one, was I did a shoot for a caftan, like a high-end caftan company in Monte Carlo.
Oh,
that
wow.
was very cool. That was so cool. Yeah, there's so many. Like, you've got to take it for what it is.
It's one of those careers, I think, where it's like if it was easy, everyone would do it. And I think
there's so many beautiful, beautiful girls and guys.
Yeah. And it's a lot harder than people give it credit for.
You've got to really be determined. Like I think.
Yeah. And I guess it's would you say that it's even more competitive now than it was before because of the rise of the influencer?
I think so. I think it's changed. Yeah. I mean, you're probably better off asking, some of the girls that are still in it when you get Sarah, if you get Sarah and Lucy on. But it would appear so. Like brands are using influencers now. They're not using models. Every agency has
like an influencer sector.
They all have, whether in it you've got a following or not. If you're a model that's signed there, you have your Instagram attached to your portfolio. Like it's a huge
thing.
Part.
So I guess in a way that taught you a lot of skills that then transitioned into the job that you do now.
That was all part of it. That was why I wanted to build my own Instagram and kind of learn a little bit more about social media because you go to these castings and you're in a queue of hundreds sometimes of these stunning girls and you're never going to be the tallest, the skinniest, the prettiest. And
half the time it's never even about that.
It's not. And so you've got to do something that's going to make you kind of stand out or make a lasting impression. And that was when Instagram and stuff was really becoming more and more important for models. And that's how I initially got into social media. It was very much I need to make sure I'm on my A game on this. Because it's clearly going to be an important part of my modelling career.
And would you say from your friends and your circle of people, that's what kind of built up your interest in skincare?
I always loved it. I had really bad skin when I was a teenager. I really struggled with acne. Yeah.
You've got the most dewy, angelic skin.
Oh, it's actually been alright recently, but it's something I've always struggled with, and especially when I was a teenager, I had really bad acne. And so that's kind of how I got really into skincare and makeup, and that was I got super into YouTube and watching YouTube videos about it. So I was really, really already very interested in skincare and makeup, and then modelling on top of that.
Yeah, and then, it just all flops nicely together.
Absolutely. And you'd meet these makeup artists and you'd be like, I just want to talk to you all day. I want to talk about what are you putting on my skin, what foundation would you recommend, how should I do my eyeshadow,
Because I always wonder that, because I think the magic they're working on red carpet and shoots to completely change face shape and how does it stay on all day. I walk down the road and my foundation off my nose, I've got a Sula, one of my eyebrows just isn't there anymore. How do they do it?
I think I probably learned more than I even realised off makeup artists, just because when you're sitting in that chair, and sometimes, when I was really busy, it'd be 3 or 4 times a week I'd be sitting getting makeup, and often when you're shooting, you don't just have your makeup done once, you're doing sometimes 8 looks, so
oh, wow.
you're having your makeup taken off and on and off and on and off and on, especially with editorial, and so you've got loads of time, and it takes a while to do makeup for shoots. You'll be in that makeup chair sometimes 4 hours, 5 hours, depending on the look. That's a lot of time, one-on-one time with a makeup artist to chat and to learn about. Yeah.
What would you say are your hero? Let's do makeup first. Your hero products for the makeup world.
Oh, it's so hard. So
I know that's a really difficult question because mine change all the time. Or a hero.
I have to say, it's not my favourite foundation anymore. However, it's a foundation that I have brought religiously. I always have it in my collection, and I've had it since I was 14, and it's Bourjois Healthy Mix.
I've heard of this,
This foundation has been around for
ever.
And I
love time.
I always have shade 51, 52 and 53. at all
Depending on
times.
how tanned you are.
Yeah, like but I have it all the time. It's like, I don't know, it's like £8. Like it's
oh my gosh, really?
so cheap, and it's really really good. It's not like my now it's replaced by NARS Sheer Glow. I love NARS Sheer Glow.
That is my NARS Sheer Glow in Santa Fe. Is my I've been using that for about 8 years now.
Yeah, and that I love, but I have to say probably the makeup product I bought the most of in my life would be that Bourjois Healthy Mix, and it's because you know the makeup artist Lisa Eldridge.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's one of the people that I used to watch religiously on YouTube.
Love that.
And she's insanely talented, she's amazing. And she ranted and raved about it, and I was like, well, that's my budget. I'm a teenager, I was 14.
That's the thing, because obviously if you're going to so many castings and some you'll need to be full face, some you'll need to be bare, you don't want it, you can't afford to be spending 40, 50 quid on a foundation.
Exactly, and especially when I was at school and stuff, £8 is a reasonable amount.
Yeah, it's rational in your head to spend that much.
Yeah, I couldn't be going and spending 30 quid on a foundation.
And it's better than the, oh my gosh, what was that horrible mousse that everyone...
Dream Matte Mousse. Jesus Christ almighty.
Triggered.
Yeah.
I see that, I just remember the sheer difference of...
I never got it, and I'm so glad that I never went there. So.
I used to use it for shows.
Is it really full coverage?
Yeah, it's thick. That stuff isn't moving.
Yeah.
That's quite lucky because my mum was always very good and very bougie with makeup.
See, my mum is the biggest tomboy ever. My mum doesn't wear she does now because I kind of got her into it a little bit more. Yeah, I'm such a girly girl in many many ways.
Yeah.
My mum wasn't, but that's why I learned all about makeup through YouTube and then and blogs and then through makeup artists.
I wish I would say the same, but yeah, my mum is ultimately.
I've seen pictures of your mum. She's
honestly,
dolled up.
She's a queen, and she doesn't give herself credit for it. My first foundation, everyone else's was the mousse, and I used to use it for shows because it was cheap.
Yeah.
And I wanted to feel independent and buy my own stuff. But my first was Clinique. So I'm now 13. Everyone's in Max Actor.
And you're just doing a bit of
Clinique. My mum took me into the bar in Boots, and they did my whole face, and because I had no idea what I was doing. And as a family, we're not blessed with eyebrows. We have to draw them on because they don't exist. Me and Mum still go get them tinted together now because we're our eyebrows are disappearing. Let's go.
Let's go and get them.
Let's sort them bad boys out.
See, we've always had the opposite issue with our eyebrows.
See, you've got great eyebrows.
We've all got very big eyebrows in my family.
I'm so jealous though. I spend so much money on product to try and I wish I could do that feather brow trend.
Oh, the soap brows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love soap brows.
But I don't have enough eyebrows to do that with. So I'm just having to stick with this.
Do you do pencil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either pencil or powder.
You look amazing.
Oh, thank you. I went through a horrendous eyebrow stage that is documented publicly on social media.
Fantastic.
And basically I dyed my hair brunette to piss off an ex-boyfriend.
Standard.
Yeah. And literally it was so dark, so it was a box dye, it was awful.
Oh, I did that.
And I had blonde eyebrows. So I just looked bold. I looked like a naked mole rat. So I was like, right, I need to sort this out. And my housemate was just use the eyebrow pens from Boots. They're so easy to use.
Oh god.
And I've never done my eyebrows before, so I was always natural.
It's just big lines.
These horrible block square, there was no fade. So I'd got a brown Sharpie and drawn them on, and no one told me.
Just
that's the worst thing.
That was a trend for a while.
But you say, stop telling me I've got horrific eyebrows to match my horrific hair, horrific life choices. I got a full fringe. Everything went wrong.
Is this before or after the bob?
This was after the bob. This
after
was
the bob.
2.0. Yeah, we discussed about the bob dilemma. Every girl goes through it where they're like, I'm going to try short hair.
I'm going to do a bob.
If you have a moon face, don't do it.
Don't do it. It's got a round face. Speak from our experience.
We did not enjoy it. I look like a loo brush.
It was a disaster.
Oh gosh, absolutely not. Yeah, I'm growing my hair out as long as I can now.
Yes.
I've invested in the Beauty Works extensions as
well.
well.
Oh yeah.
And I've not got them in now, but they're sensational. And the colour match, on point.
Oh wow.
Best it. I'm rubbish as well, and you literally just backcomb your hair, slot them in, clip, boom.
That's amazing.
I didn't feel heavy. I'm so fussy with stuff like
yeah.
that. I like my hair, I'm really lazy with. My face, I'll take the time.
I'm the exact, I love makeup, love skincare,
hair.
hair.
Hours doing those things. Can't even straighten my hair. I'd rather go out and like Hagrid than have to straighten my hair.
I always have it up.
Effortless shoot.
Yeah. Not
Not
greasy laziness.
Just model off duty.
Yeah.
So what are the things that are just hyped up but actually aren't necessary?
Sheet mask.
Oh really?
Yeah. Sheet mask.
Do they actually do anything, or are you better off
They're just invested in a nice serum. That's all it is. It's like it's a piece of fabric that has just had a crap ton of serum poured all over it, and then they're wasteful. Like they're great fun. I love them. I've got loads. Like they're great. They are not necessary. You do not need a sheet mask. Nobody needs a sheet mask. That's hype. Let me think what's else. What's not hype is SPF.
Do you know what?
SPF 50. Do not go lower. Like
I feel so bad for this because I went through a massive sunbed phase.
I think
And you know, you like now I just invest in good fake tan. I'm like,
yeah, I'm the same.
And I'm still bad. I don't wear 50 on my body.
I don't wear 50 on my body,
But
my face.
Yeah, about a year ago, I saw the consequences of aging from not wearing it. Because you just don't. I'd never wear SPF here in the UK. I'd wear it when I go on holiday.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like you just have, and that is something you have to make a habit. And you've got to find a good one because not all SPFs are made equal.
Yeah.
Like some of them are gross and they're tacky and they leave a white cast.
And they're really bad under makeup as well.
And they're awful under makeup and they peel and...
Because I went through a phase, everyone loves
La Roche-Posay.
Yeah.
Yes, I love La Roche.
For some reason, I don't know if it was under, I think it was the powder I was using at the time.
Is it the liquid one? Is it really thin? Like, is it called Ultra Fluid?
Yeah.
So at the moment I'm using, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a balm. It's almost like a balm. It's thick. Like you wouldn't.
I think that's what I
wouldn't think it would be very good under makeup, and it is quite.
It's better.
It's quite thick, but you can really work it in, and it's really nice. I would recommend.
I might try that. Yeah, because mine it just didn't work with the powder I was using.
Sometimes you do like it does vary. Like you will find that certain formulas don't mix well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also Bioderma have a nice SPF 50.
Oh, I'll look into that because I like that brand.
Neutrogena also have a really good SPF.
Yeah, because I think a lot of the time we think we have to spend a ton of money.
I was going to say like a hype versus habit thing. Like my favourite skincare products are under 20 quid.
Love that. Any favourite brands?
CeraVe.
Yeah.
I
don't know how
to pronounce them.
For ages I called it Kerav.
Yeah, I mean that's very political.
I don't even know where it was.
Kerav, love Kerav.
So Midlands of me.
I got sent their some of their products, and I was like, well, that's fucking boring. Like, because it looks so clinical.
Yeah.
And I just was like, nah, I want my like super over marketed like.
Yeah, right. That's why like Charlotte Tilbury sucks me in because
like,
she's just so bougie, and I'm like, I love it.
And I was getting sent like. I would get sent loads of stuff and it'd be amazing, and obviously like that looks super clinical and we'll put that to the side. And then I can't really remember why I reached for it, but one day I was just like, well, fuck it, I'll try this out. And I was like, well, that's the best cleanser I've ever used. Like, and I was like, how much is this? And it's like eight quid.
It's like The Ordinary. A lot of people rave about that.
The Ordinary is great. I prefer the Inky list.
Right, so interesting. I read a blog about the best hyaluronic acids to use, and I've been using The Ordinary for years. It's so tacky.
Yeah, so that's the issue with The Ordinary is amazing. Also, The Ordinary is, everything is so separate. So, like, if you want to get...
It's a lot of products to use.
Like, if you want to get the full... That's why the Inky list is kind of like a step up from The Ordinary. Like, it does you a day serum... Yeah. Which isn't, you don't have to use one hyaluronic and one vitamin C and one peptides and one, it's a little bit more expensive, but it's got everything in it. It's a really well-rounded day serum.
Oh, that would be a good thing to look into.
They've got loads, and so yeah, I would say, but that's the biggest one. Like my favourite products are under £20. My favourite brands are CeraVe, the Inky List, The Ordinary, La Roche-Posay, Bioderma.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving anything out, but they're all like you can get them in Boots.
Which is so good because I know that I definitely fall into that. I'm like, well, if it's expensive, it's got to be better.
And you are really with skincare paying for, I think, makeup to a degree.
It depends on the item, doesn't it? Like there's certain things I wouldn't skimp on, but then like my eyes are really sensitive, so I can't use a cheap mascara.
Yeah, and you learn about your face and what you know. And products work differently on different people and stuff. Different people like different kinds of looks and stuff. Also, Elf Cosmetics.
Yes,
They're coming out with some great skincare. Like, not all of it's amazing, but a lot of it's really, really nice.
So if anyone was new to skincare, talk about Caroline Hirons, I've like got obsessed and I just went through and was like, right, what do I need?
What does she like?
Yeah, I'm gonna go crazy, and then I just keep swapping and changing and things, seeing what's on sale and playing around with stuff.
Yeah.
If someone was like new to skincare, where's like a good place to start?
In terms of like a routine?
Yeah.
I think you don't even really ever need to go. I think simple is better. For most people anyway. Like my skin can't take too much. I've really slowed down on reviewing products now because
bless you,
my skin would just be in a constant state because I'm like, and I wanted to review all these things, but morning gentle cleanse, day serum with a vitamin C, and moisturiser and SPF, and evening I would do an oil or a balm cleanse. Like a cleansing wash, serum to treat. So you might have, I don't know, like I use a treatment for hyperpigmentation from like acne scars, and then moisturiser on top. But you might have active acne, so you might need to use something that will deal directly with that. You might have super dehydrated skin, so you might need a serum specific to that.
That's one thing that really interested me, is because I had horrendous skin at drama school, and a lot of it was stress induced.
Yeah.
But my skin's always been really dry, so I could never understand how I had acne and I had dry skin. And then I would always avoid oily products, because in your head you're like, well, if I've got spots, I don't want oil, and actually...
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I wouldn't recommend using, if you have acne, I wouldn't recommend using oil as a moisturiser on your skin, but I think everybody should be oil or balm cleansing in the evening.
Yeah.
Every night.
An oil cleanser was like an absolute game changer.
Oil cleanser is like, I couldn't imagine
life without it.
Yeah, because like, and I do it whether I'm wearing makeup or not, like I'll oil or balm cleanse first at night, and it gets everything off, and you're not scrubbing it.
The power of the double cleanses as well.
Double cleansing is...
Oh my god, so I like literally went to Will Clothes, you can get like a pound flannel, and I got like a flannel for every day.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need.
Would cleanse, like take my makeup off, and then before I eat, that would be all I would do, and then I'd tone and do everything.
Cleanse after.
But then you cleanse after now.
I always think you're cleaning off your makeup, then you're cleaning your skin.
Yeah.
Or you're cleaning off the dirt and the SPF and the makeup or whatever's landed on your skin throughout the day, and then your second cleanse is you're actually
getting in there.
Yeah.
And it's madness because you're like, oh, this should be super clean, and then when you start using, I bought a white flannel because I wanted to see.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god. And then the whole thing like jokes about the makeup wipes. That's just moving it around your
literally,
face.
Makeup wipes are the devil.
They're dry, my skin would always be so dry.
You're tugging at your skin, you're rubbing at your skin. Like, I remember when I was at school and I used to wear a lot of foundation to cover up my acne, I would go through like 5 or 6 makeup wipes. Like,
oh my gosh, easily.
Like, without any issue, and scrubbing at my skin.
So to round up that before I go into my final question, what would be your advice for someone that is, or just your opinion, I guess, in general, of not knowing what you want to do, finding what you want to do, and then changing? Because I feel like this is something we don't talk about a lot, and I know that I've delved into it in elements in the sense that I always wanted to be an actor, but I felt the pressure to do the traditional route.
Sure.
Kind of did it, hated it, completely rebelled.
Yeah.
And just fucked off and travelled the world.
As you do.
Pursued acting, love it, but I have a love-hate relationship with it.
Yeah.
And now I'm trying to reclaim it and find my balance of being creative and being in that industry, but still being able to support myself and have other interests outside of it. So what would you say is, what's your opinion on it? What have you learned through falling into an industry you absolutely love, and then completely building this whole brand and life for yourself out of nowhere, and then falling in love with something else?
I've always, I don't know, I've always been a big believer in going with your gut.
Yeah.
I think whenever I've not trusted my gut and gone against it is when
things go wrong. I've always said
shit's happened.
This.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you're like, it's like when you ignore the red flags, right? But
yeah. And I don't know, like, I'm not like a big believer in like everything works out, because not everything works out, and there is no great plan. You get dealt cards in life, and then what you choose to do with them, you choose to do with them. But I do think, like, have faith in yourself and your abilities and what you can do. and go with your gut, and like if you're going to do something, give it your all. And
use your full ass, not half of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're going to do it, if your gut says to do it, then do it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be.
I love that. I think that's really cool, and I think you're a female girl boss. Like you work for yourself. Like that's most people's dream is to work for themselves, to have the freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm lucky. I forget that. I don't. Yeah. Yeah, it is good. It's not always easy. But
oh gosh, relate.
Yeah.
We definitely discussed that.
We did.
The freelance life is not the easiest one.
It's not. It's got its ups and downs.
What would be your next big goal?
I'm kind of in a funny old. So.
But you can also be totally happy to be where you are.
I'm happy where I am. I always want to be more. I always want to do the next thing. Which is probably an issue with. It's probably not necessarily always a good thing because I never appreciate where I am.
Yeah, celebrate how far.
Yeah, and like enjoy life for what it is right now. But I'm kind of torn, and I could do both because I kind of do both now. As to whether I want to expand the digital marketing and become more of an agency.
Wow.
Which actually pre-COVID is something that I was very close to doing.
I remember you discussing it with me. I'm totally going to send you my CV. Please employ me.
And then for I had a lot of hospitality clients, and of course when COVID hit, everything shut down. So that kind of stopped that in its tracks. But now as I'm building the business back up again, hopefully, the next few months to a year, I'll be in that position as to whether I want to go on to that next step. But that is a huge, having employees and having the responsibility of other people.
Managing others is a lot.
It's a huge thing. And I'm 26 and I want to really enjoy the rest of my.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, she's this awesome at 26.
No, I'm saying.
No, but I'm saying this because it's like look at all of the incredible stuff you have done.
I think. Thank you. I think. I do feel like working for myself and being freelance, as we've discussed, is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And it's stressful. And then also I'm thinking, I still want to enjoy. I still want to go out. I still want to.
You still want to live. It's like you don't want to work to. Which one is it?
Yeah, live to work or work. Yeah. So I don't know. That's a balance. And then the other thing that I really want to do is. I like writing, much like you. We're very similar. So I have my beauty blog, and do I want to go into beauty writing and food? I used to do restaurant reviews. I've got my first one coming up next week, post COVID.
That's exciting. What restaurant is it for? Or is it?
I can't remember the name. No, I can. It's a sushi place in Chinatown. So I've actually got a couple, and then I've got a vegan chocolate. Cafe in Angel, I think.
Okay, so if that's good, I'm coming.
Yeah, that's near your new flat. So
that's gonna be near my new turf, so I'm gonna there.
So that's exciting. But I've done both now for a while, just on a small scale. It's kind of like, now do I want to?
Where do we go?
Where do I go? Do I focus on one thing and put everything into that, or do I keep straddling both worlds? And I don't know, it's exciting. I don't know, we'll see. Watch this space. She's
gonna conquer the world.
How many more animals am I gonna get?
I know. next time I interview her, she's gonna have a micro pig, maybe like a baby
rats. At the moment I'm looking at
rats.
Yeah, I love rats.
No, we had a rat, not a pet. We called it Louis. And he must have come from the depths of London and really enjoyed eating my Cocoa Pops on the side. So he was the size of a small dog.
My ex-boyfriend had a mouse called Dave. I think I called it Dave. I think it was several mice.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I think sometimes it makes it feel a bit better to name.
I would have kept, You're
so good with animals
I fucking love all animals. I'm ridiculous.
I'm good apart from it's rats and mice.
She love rats.
And then anything with too many legs or eyes.
Actually, insects, I do draw a line.
It's
can't
just
do it insects.
Why have you got so many legs? Do you need 8 eyes?
No, they don't.
It's
It's
unnecessary.
greedy.
Like, go away. Have
What
some
about
fun.
reptiles?
Oh, I love a snake.
Same. And bearded dragons. I'd love a bearded dragon.
I
And a turtle or a tortoise.
Don't.
God, I can't fit any more
I
animals.
know. And the thing is with I really wanted a tortoise because I was like, they're really easy to look after. One of the yoga teachers that I'm doing my course with has one.
They're so cool.
Torty, and he's so cool. And there's a picture of him, he's like smiling at the camera. And I was like, I need that.
Yeah.
And live to 100, so he would outlive me.
Oh my god, he has like an heirloom.
I know, I was looking at me like, what? Why don't I live till I'm 100? Because you're not a tortoise.
You're not a tortoise, and you're also very clumsy. And you eat everything.
You'd break your shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he was a tortoise, he would be on his back.
He would.
And my final question for you, aside from what pet are you going to get next, is what's the best bit of advice you've ever been given? It can be funny, it can be DMC, it can be...
I know. No, this is not. I wish I had something funny. My granddad has said it, my mum says it, and we say it to each other. It's been work hard and be nice to people.
Oh, I love that. Super simple. And
Just work
so
hard
true.
and be nice. Don't be a dickhead.
Yeah, don't be a knob. Like, honestly,
Don't
life
be
is too
a
short.
dickhead.
There's enough assholes in this world.
Just
Don't add to
work
the pile.
hard, be nice to people, fucking enjoy. Yeah.
Yay! And this is your opportunity to tell everyone where they can find you, social media handles, websites, self-plug, anything you need to look
Self-plug.
at. This is your moment.
So probably Instagram. I'm Nancy Elza, NancyElza, and you can find my blog through that. It's all Nancy Elza, so www.nancyelza.co.uk.
Consistent with the branding, people.
Consistent with the branding. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yay! Thank you so much for being my first in person.
Oh, thank you for coming!
Yes, I had the best time.
Oh, this was so
And
nice.
I think Ozzy's had a great time as well.
Ozzy's been active.
I love it. I can't wait to edit this episode. It's going to be so much fun.
So much going on.
Honestly, I'm going to have my headphones and be like, what is
What is that? Oh no, that's Ozzy.
I love it.